You are live, and we're going to hit the intro, Georgie.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your meds, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast audio mix, right? I am your host with the most,
throwback.
Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer, Medina. Damn, I'm so offbeat on that, bro. It's disgusting. It's so bad how offbeat I am.
Yes, you are.
Yo, you brought it back with that podcast
I know.
audio mix.
I know. That was the beginning, way back. Take me back.
Yeah, so for all those who don't know, back in the days, in the first volume of Catch the Craze, it was known as Catch the Craze Podcast Audio Mix.
Yes.
That's what the name of the show was.
Yes.
And then when we came back, you took out the podcast audio mix, and it's been Catch the Craze.
Yes. Can you believe it? I went back.
Wow, it's been years, brother, years.
So this is the countdown. It's a double feature. It's the countdown to Christmas show. And it isn't a Christmas show, but it's the countdown to Christmas because we are now in December. And what a great way to go into Christmas than with sock puppets.
There you go.
I mean, it's crazy because you think about, remember, I don't have it. No, I have the Muppet Treasure, but the Muppet Christmas special and Charlie Brown's Christmas, which is right behind me. I'm a big Christmas buff, right? Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Remember that? George Lake.
Of course. Christmas, I think is a lot. I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think it's a lot of people's favorite holiday.
Yes, it is.
Personally, for me, I do. I love me some Christmas, bro. Christmas carols, Christmas music.
Yes.
It's strange. So I'm right now in Cali, okay? Because my family moved out here, so I'm in California. I came to visit. My nephew's birthday is on the 28th, so happy birthday, Andrew. Love you.
Happy birthday.
And so I was here for that. So he just turned 18. Big, nice party. Not big because obviously for COVID reasons, but Christmas here is completely different. Like, not that I've never been here, but from what my nephews tell me, they want to go to New York just for Christmas. They miss the snow. They miss just the atmosphere of Christmas in a cold weather city like New York City, for example. Yes. It's just totally different than like sunny California Christmas. You know what I mean?
Well, New York Christmas is, they don't call it New York Spectacular for nothing. I love Christmas. For years, I've always played Santa Claus for my teams and for my family. I get into the spirit. I love walking through to Fifth Avenue when it's snowing during Christmas because all of the windows, the big retailers, they really go all out with these amazing animatronics and these beautiful decorations. And then going to Rockefeller Center and then going ice skating in Central Park. And I remember when FVO Schwartz used to be there across the street from Central Park. They had the best hot chocolate. You go get your hot chocolate. Then you go over to Central Park and you go ice skating. Perfect. You take a carriage ride. It's very romantical, right? And so it's the best time. And you go and you go to a Broadway show and
the Rockettes. Well, not Broadway show, but the Rockettes at Radio City is a staple of Christmas.
You go watch like what is it? A Christmas Miracle or Scrooge on Broadway. it's a great time just to be with family. It's a real, it's the countdown resonates with me because this year has been so toxic and so frustrating and so confusing and just the thought of things improving, the conversations changing, the mood, the temperature changing. It's refreshing because I think we all need a reprieve right now, and we need a moment just to give thanks and pause and just be with family. So, which is why I think it's really cool. Before we even go further, we do have a special guest on the show today, and her name is Mia the Puppeteer.
Mia C.
Yes.
And Mia's Puppet Corner. Yes.
Yes, Puppet Corner. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to hearing from you guys. And who is this? Marcelo. Shout out from Brooklyn. The Brooklyn's in the house, without a doubt.
He said,
Brooklyn. So a friend of mine, back in the days when I used to rap, a friend of mine, he had a song called "Step Up to Bushwick and You'll Get Mushed Quick."
Mush quick.
Yeah, mush. Remember the word mush?
Yes, mush quick. Very clever.
Yeah, very clever. So the Christmas countdown, I think, we think about, when you think Christmas, you think family. You think eggnog. You think abuelita's cooking, right? Rest in peace, abuela. But you think that family meal, the cooking, and the smell of it. And you think of the ranking with your cousins and your siblings, and you're dissing each other and you're making fun of each other, and
wow,
all that stuff that happens at when the rivalry that goes on. That's the fun part. But
that's funny.
When you think gift giving, I just picked up a great book, The Art of Invader Zim, and this is a great book to give as a gift to those aspiring artists or creatives out there. You don't have to just be an illustrator. You just have to be a fan of creating imaginary worlds. And this book is chock full of great art, storyboards, how he came up with the characters, the plot, the whole bit. And I think this would be a great gift for a young, aspiring artist, creator, puppeteer, who just, when you look at some of the designs, the character designs, and the worlds that he created, it's pretty dope. So I picked this up and I've been reading it at night. And what about you, George?
No, I going back to just Mia, who we have coming up soon, and talking about creating and things like that. We, when we put the show together, when you said, let's come back, let's do the Catch the Craze, we've always said, it's not just limited to, people who create comics. We've had artists on the show, and when I say artists, I mean musical artists. We've had bands on the show. We've had, photographers. But Mia is our first puppeteer, and she also has created some of her own characters, which she brings to life. And that is very impressive. And I'm very thankful that she's going to be on the show and she's going to be talking to us about that. But, and then going back to what you were saying, like the memories of just like Christmas and stuff like that, it's all about, like you said, family time. All about the gifts, and not just the ones you receive, but the ones you give, yep. Right? That reaction when people open up those gifts that they weren't expecting or they didn't think they were going to get, and they open them up and there they are. Like that part of Christmas, that's the side of Christmas that I enjoy and I love. We used to play, when my family was here, we used to play a game where everybody had to come bring a present to the house. And we all sat in a circle and we all picked numbers. And, I would be the MC. I would be calling out numbers. You would have to come up, pick up a gift from the floor and take it back to your seat with your number. And as the game came along, you may not end up with that same gift because those numbers would change. I would say, all right, 2, flip with number 1. 5, exchange with number 6. And it would be a game that would be going out through the entire night, 1 through 30, whatever, till the numbers were done. But at the end of the night, everybody walked away with a present. You know what I mean? So nobody left empty-handed.
But everybody was looking at the one with the big box.
But everybody wanted the colorful one, the big heavy box, yes. Right? Like, what's in that heavy box?
It's a crock pot. Stop acting up.
And then the little one is the one that would have like the big like $100 gift card or something like that. Not that it ever happened because the limit was 25. But it's like you said, yeah, you're right. Everybody was looking for that big prize. Yes. But that's the fun. That's Christmas. You know what I mean? Just spending time with your family and you know, being thankful. But yeah, that Invaders In book looks dope, man.
Yeah, when I was a youngin', Christmas time, all the guys in the neighborhood, we played football during Christmas weekend and on Christmas Eve, and we go out there, we get all bruised up, and so it made even the Christmas Day even more special because you needed to heal those ribs that were busted from playing ball. But I used to love that. You know, it was one of those things where it was like a tradition. You know, you knew that, you know, when the family came over, you know, the boys all did their thing, and, you know, the girls did their thing, and, you know, and then, you know, the rough housing started and whatever. But what I loved about Christmas, for me, the countdown to Christmas always starts Thanksgiving. Because back in the day on Thanksgiving, and they still do it, you know, you would have March of the Wooden Soldiers on TV. You'd have the Yule log, but they would also show the sci-fi, the Godzilla and Mothra and all that stuff doing that. And then you also had football, and everybody watched football. But it's just those traditions. And I think I'm hoping that with this whole social distancing, that everyone takes advantage of that time that we took for granted, because everyone's running and everyone's on their tablets or phones, and I don't have time to have dinner at home. You know, I'm going to go out to dinner, but even if you went out to dinner with a friend, you're always looking at your dang phone. So take that time to just be in the moment and be with your loved ones and just enjoy it. You know, but
absolutely, dude.
So, you know, do you have any young nephews and nieces in your family?
No, well, my nephews are older now. One is 13, the other one's 18. So they're older. But when they were younger, obviously, you know, Christmas was just all about the kids. It's for the kids, you know, like what are they going to get? Seeing them open up gifts and stuff like that. The gifts, as they get older, get a little more expensive. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they just want like technology. Dude, my nephew just got, you know, you ever heard of the Oculus from Facebook? Mm-hmm. So he just got that. The funny thing about that thing is that he was playing it. He had like a shooting game he was playing. Dude, he got dizzy. My man got dizzy. He's like, "Y'all gotta stop." He almost threw up. He was like, because like you're in your head. It's crazy how realistic all that junk looks. So he was like, "Y'all gotta take this off. You have to take a break." Because it's that realistic looking, you know, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, now they're not older. What are you doing for Christmas?
Well, I just want to say, welcome, Bingle Productions. It's Bingle. I'm assuming you broke it down for us. So, you know, I have these.
Bingle, nice shout out from Maryland.
Yes.
What's up?
Welcome to the Craze.
I love it.
Hey, when you were in elementary school, did you guys have any Christmas songs that you sung in the classrooms and in the auditorium or the Glee Club?
Yeah.
What were some of the songs you sang?
We had, you know, just the regular, you know, Frosty the Snowman, you know, fa la 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 la.
I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna hit you a curveball. We had one. It was a short one, but it was Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you don't have a penny, a half a penny will do. If you don't have a half a penny, God bless you. That was what we sang in elementary school.
You say, so out of all these wonderful Christmas carols, that's the one that sticks out of your head. Yes. I love it. The way your mind works, bro, it's freaking amazing. Yeah, Marcelo said, I used to sing Go Santa Go from the Wiggles when I was a kid. Nice.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I know, really? George, you know the words?
No.
I don't either.
I never heard of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
But yeah, no, what are you doing? Are you doing anything special? What are you doing for Christmas?
Christmas, I was supposed to put up, I'm in trouble. I was supposed to put up the tree today. I haven't put up the tree yet. I've been in the studio all day. You don't understand what I've been doing, but I've been locked behind my draft table, drawing and editing and responding to things. But anyway, for Christmas, we're just going to watch. I'm hoping it snows. If it snows, I'm going to build a snowman outside.
Nice.
I do it every time it snows. But we're just going to watch Christmas movies. I'm going to cook. I do all the cooking. Yes, that's me. Nice. And we're just going to spend the time together. watch the COVID go by the windows as we stay indoors and avoid the drama that's out there. It's a little crazy out there, but
oh man.
But
yeah, no, I was supposed to be flying out to Illinois, but I'm not going to be flying. I'm going to
drive.
I'm going to be driving. It's going to be a little road trip. A little road trip to Illinois, a little 13-hour road trip out to
straight, or you're going to stop?
Country. Nah, not straight. We're going to take it straight. We're just going to go straight.
So what time you leave? Like 5?
We're going to leave early in the morning on, I think, whatever it is, Tuesday or Monday, whatever that is. Yeah. It'll be a 13-hour drive, and then we'll just be out there chilling.
Wow. You're going to stop at a Howard Johnson's?
No, not even straight.
You're straight. Family, you're not going to stop to eat, to the bathroom, to gas?
We'll stop. But we're not going to stay at
that's
Howard
what I meant.
Johnson.
No, not stay at Howard Johnson. But when we used to do road trips when I was a kid, no one wants to be in a car. And back in the days when we were younger, there were station wagons, right? So, so I'm just letting you guys know. We used to be in the back of the station wagon, and they used to take these long trips. And so we used to love when they pulled up at the Howard Johnson because we knew it was breakfast time or meal time. And they had we get the biggest flapjacks and it was amazing. And so we look forward to those trips only because of Howard Johnson. Crazy.
Shoot,
when we were kids, that was it. We would sleep in the back. And then they pull up pancakes.
No, I don't know. We're not gonna stop. We're just gonna go straight. And then on the way back, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. The trip. Hopefully, we get good weather because I don't want to be driving in the snow. That's gonna be.
Oh yeah. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. But the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to going out there because my girlfriend's family just got a puppy, a little black Labrador.
What's his name?
Bruce. Bruce, like Bruce Wayne, got So he bites everything. Apparently, he's a terror, dude. Like his teeth are growing in, so he's just you give him your hand and he just wants to bite you, and so it's cute. Yeah.
Yes. I adopted a rescue. When I went to Texas, we were at a charity event, a black tie charity event for the SPCA, and so they had these rescued puppies from a puppy mill. That they saved from that storm that hit Houston, remember? Mm-hmm. So, of course, we're there. They take her out of the thing and they put her on my shoulder. She falls asleep on my arms, and so of course we're gonna bring her back home. That little Terra Nova, I swear to you, she tore through all of my socks. So I remember I used to travel a lot for work. So I remember I get to the hotel. And I get out the shower and I go to put on my socks and they have a hole. So I grab another pair, holes. I'm like, all of them, my foot went right through. They just tear the whole bottom out. So I had to go put on no socks, go down to the local store, find a store, buy some socks. I was like, I'm going to kill her. So she was teething for a long time. And so that's all she would do is just tear through socks.
It's like babies, bro. Yeah, no, this one tears through socks, cardboard, like anything you throw in his face. Like he's just at it. He's got an Instagram page, Bruce in Batavia. So check that out. Yeah, it's funny.
In Batavia?
Batavia, Batavia. Yeah, Bruce _in Batavia. He's a terror, dude. He's a terror, but I can't wait to check him out.
Cool.
But yeah, man, Christmas is right around the corner, dude. I can't believe. I don't know. For me, the year went slow all the way up to September, October,
and then it just went
boom. Yeah. Now we're in December.
It's almost like it was like we were going uphill all year
for a while. Yep.
It's like when you get on a roller coaster, you're like, and you try to get there, and then once you get to that peak, and you look down, like, damn, and it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, and it's just that's it. This is the last month, and hopefully next year things are a lot different. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not that they will be. I don't see it happening.
I think the difference will come from people learning to be people. Just give what you expect to receive. Don't expect it first. Give it. Demonstrate what it looks like. And energy attracts energy. You know what I'm saying? So if you want someone to be respectful, if you want someone to be positive around you, then you need to shine your light. And you need to be positive and respectful because eventually you'll dim their light if they don't give that. You know what I'm saying? And
definitely.
Oil rises to the surface. It's going to be a nightmare once we start needing to go back to school and the office in person. It's like, because what's going to happen is everyone's going to have baseball bats inside their purses, and then the first person that sneezes, they'll be like, "Dang!" It's like, I feel sorry if you cough or sneeze. It's over.
Cough or sneeze in person. You can't do it. Don't do it, dog. Don't do it.
It's over.
It's
like I'm like this. I'm gonna walk in the room and I gotta see. I'm like this. It's like, excuse me. I'm gonna walk out the room. Oh, it's gonna be horrible.
Oh man, dude, it's gonna be tough, bro.
Yeah, the looks you'll get. Oh man, if you cough, forget about it. It's like, you seen that they have this app now that they're trying to sell you these apps that just says it'll tell you who has COVID around you.
Really?
There's gonna be murder everywhere. They go off with his head. It's like, come on, people will be chasing. Man. It's gonna be like the back in the days when the witches were being chased and burned at the stake. That's what's gonna happen. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna have a freaking mark. I had to take a test. I had to take a COVID test to fly back to New York. So 2 days. No, when was it? I went Sunday to get the test done. 15 minutes. It was quick. The results were quick. I'm negative. I'm good. I'm ready to go back. But it's nerve wracking, bro, because I just spend all that time with my family. And I'm like, what if I come out positive and like I've been here with my family hugging and like, everybody's been good. All of a sudden, everybody's got to go take a test. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
So I like to, if anyone in the audience, what's your favorite part about Christmas? And why is it so special to you? I'd love for you to respond and answer us.
Sweet.
What else, Georgie Porgy?
Nothing else. Just I think is Mia in the waiting room yet?
Let's see it. Oh yes, she is. So we're gonna go to coffee.
She is.
We're gonna go to coffee commercial, and then when we come back, we're going to speak with Mia, the puppeteer. So here it is, coffee.
There is no better way to start the day than with a cup of joe and an episode of Catch the Craze.
I'm so crazy, you so crazy, crazy. Who's the craziest? I'm so crazy, you so crazy, crazy. Who's the craziest? I'm so crazy, you so crazy, crazy. Who's the craziest?
Kinda in front of the camera.
Hello there.
Hey, Mia, what's up?
Hello there. I'm looking the wrong way. Hello there. First hi, Mia, you're on camera. Yes, I know, Dot.
Oh, Dot, look at that.
That is fantastic.
Oh, Mia. Dot likes to hug up the camera, huh, Mia?
Or laughter, I like to see what's going on with the camera. Yeah, he does that a lot.
Oh, shoot. That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
No, Dot. I gotta do an interview here, Dot, though. Oh, geez, Dot. Come on, man. This is live.
Hola.
But if we're gonna do this interview and I got to go, well, I mean, you gotta put me over there. Yep. Okay then. There we go. There he goes.
Oh, Dot.
Over there. Oh boy. All right.
Oh, he's a superstar. How you doing, Mia?
He is. I'm doing pretty well, pretty good. I'll be honest. But how are you two?
Good. This is Sam over here, man. I just want to introduce you to Sam. He's
hey, Sam.
the creator of the show, Catch the Craze, and we want to welcome you. And I see you have some fans up on the screen here saying hello and welcoming you to the show.
Yeah, I know. I think I know all these people. Well, who we got? Marcelo's in the chat. Matt's in the chat.
That's right.
Nicole's in the chat. Yaniv. My boy. Yeah, we got everyone in the chat right here.
Sweet.
Oh my God.
So I wanted to have you on the show. Number one, because I've known you for a while, and I just started following you and your page on Instagram and checking out Dot and all your characters. And I was like, dude, we have to have me on the show. You're our first puppeteer. on the show, and we were talking with Sam. Yeah, we were talking with Sam how we've had different artists on the show. We've had, you know, bands, and we've had musical artists. We've never had a puppeteer on the show, so you're our first, and this is very good and very interesting. And thank you for being on the show.
Well, I'm very honored to be your first puppeteer little person on here.
Sweet.
Welcome.
So we have a couple of things. I want to get to know about me. I want the people out there. I'm sure a lot of your fans already know a lot, but I want people who have never heard of Mia C to know more about you. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. We're gonna chat a little bit. So tell us a little bit about your background and where you're from. Let's start there.
Well, I mean, I grew up, of course, over here in New York, New York boys.
Yeah.
I believe I grew up in Yonkers, New York, which was, that's an interesting whole little place, my hometown, of course. And that was always fun. Grew up in a pretty good family, I would say, definitely. And I mean, there's so much things I could talk about. And then, I think ever since I was at least, I want to say 6-ish years old or whatnot, I've been living here in the Bronx, and it's been quite fun up here. Or down here, I don't know directions. Directions are all over the place, I've been hearing. But, that's been pretty fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and so you live in the Bronx now. How did you get into puppeteering? Because I know when I first met you, it was at a New York Comic Con.
It was, yes.
Yeah, and I had a booth, and I had my stuff, and you and your mom always came up, and you guys just asked questions. I didn't even know that you were kind of gearing towards going into the whole puppeteer thing. I always thought you were doing comics and stuff like that. So how did you get into puppeteering?
I mean, puppetry goes a long way for me, honestly. It just started with Sesame Street, and that was it. Good night. Nah, I kid. But I mean, ever since I want to say I was 2 or 3 years old, I've always been invested in puppetry, because I grew up with shows like The Muppet Show and Fraggle Rock, and of course Sesame Street. That was the big one for me. But as for the one that really kicked me into the puppetry groove, there was this I'm sure some of y'all in the chat probably know, my peeps out there, but there was this show in at Walt Disney World called Playhouse Disney Live on Stage, or Disney Junior Live on Stage, whatever you want to call it. It's the same show. And basically it was this live show where it featured the characters from the Disney Channel, so Bear and JoJo and Mickey Mouse and that kind of stuff, but they were all represented as puppets, these really good looking puppets, and they are just some of the most just phenomenally beautiful puppets I've ever seen out there. And I just remember when I saw that live in person, I think I was 5 years old or so at the time. I was just so mesmerized by the puppet designs and the puppetry, and it was especially with characters from Bear in the Big Blue House, another little Muppet show. Just seeing the characters just really there, because you see on the show, with the exception of Bear, because he's different, oh my, I'm trying to think of the words to describe it. Happens every time. But because on the screen it looks like they're animated, Bear being the only exception, because that was actual puppets, that was real stuff. But and then you see it in person, and it's whoa,
mind blowing. Yeah, mind blowing. It's funny because Sam was a big growing up. I mean, obviously Fraggle Rock and all of these other shows, right? Sam's got a character called Cosmic Gorf, who is you were very influenced by that look. So I think that Jim Henson and what he did with that was out of this world. You know what I mean? We all know about that kind of stuff. So do you create and build your own puppets? After that show, do you now create and build your own, or?
Well, at the current moment, no, I do not build my own puppets. I was going to this year, and then a certain thing called a pandemic happened, and that took up a lot of our monies, so we had to spend a lot more on that. But as for creating my own puppets, I mean, I've done a lot of puppet designs and sketches throughout the years, but the only one that has been currently shown publicly is me. That's there we go. Oh gosh. Oh my god. But so that is probably literally my original creation. You know, he's like a very spherical little character. He's a completely he's oh wow, look at his legs just twinkling there.
Just
Look
crossing his legs, just chilling.
Just chilling. That's right, just chilling. He's basically a little bit. He's different than all the other puppets I perform with. He's actually a lot more of a rodish type of puppet. So I move him like this and like that type of stuff.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
he's. But he is very fun to perform with, and in fact, I unfortunately do not have the 2 paper puppets I used of him before. But you know, he originally started out as like a little paper. I'll get more into this later on. But you know, he was originally paper, and then like after a while, I commissioned someone to make him into an actual puppet, and here I am today, and that dancer fits me right up in there. He was a good dad. Oh, boy.
Cracks me up, man. He cracks me up. Just looking at it, right? It's like, it's just, look at him.
So, can you tell us more about him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so Dot is a character that I've been working on since I want to say, yeah, you just said right there, man. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Good boy. Yeah, Dot has been a character I've been creating or working on. I don't know the exact terminology, but I remember the earliest I created him was somewhere around 2014, and back then he was literally just a ball. He was literally just like one of those like you know, like the sing along, those Disney sing along videos where it's like follow the bouncing ball. That was literally what he was, and that was because I don't want to get too into it because it's a cringy idea I had as a young kid me, but or young teen, I don't even remember. But basically it was like I had this idea for doing a children's type of network. And basically I want to do like little like sing along little bits in between commercials and something like that. And I just thought like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if the bouncy ball was like a little semi kind of character throughout the whole thing? And that's kind of where that came from. And then nothing really changes until I want to say 2017-ish when he finally gains arms and legs, like you see right here. And then afterwards, like it doesn't change at all for a while. Then come early mid-ish 2018. That's when I like, because originally he was meant to be just like he was meant to be literally just this, just nothing around him and whatnot. And that's when I like finally decided, like, because I got tired of it, and I just decided to give him the big old eyes that he has now.
Classic, yes.
Blah, blah, blah. And then I think the biggest change, because his design overall doesn't change throughout that much period, but one of the biggest change really comes the same year, 2018, because originally he was just going to be like a silent character, just kind of only like words, expressing himself through body language, like.
Right.
Like that type of stuff. And then like I just got, even though I'm a huge fan of those like characters, like who's the character name, like Gromit from Wallace and Gromit, for example, that like they don't speak at all, they just only really express themselves through body language. As much as I love those characters, I just got real tired with it. And so one day I was just like doing this voice, this voice, in fact, and I was just like I remember exactly where exactly it stemmed from. But I was just like doing it. I was speaking like as if Dot had his own language, like something like that. Some Swedish chef type of stuff right there. And else, and then it was kind of fun to do for a while, and then it just kind of started to get a little annoying, a little rusty on my throat. So then I just started to like talk in the voice, but with the English language, of course.
Right.
And basically, and I started to talk more like, oh, hey, look at this, look at that. And and then I started to sing some songs that, let's do something separate for children. Some stuff like that. And and that's how Dot became the Dot we all know and love. Now, in terms of the actual puppet, one thing that I don't think I've ever shared before with anyone really is that originally I never really intended Dot to be an actual puppet. You're kidding! I'm not. you guys hear this and everything? You never intended me to be a puppet? Well, that's how I pronounce it, apparently. A puppet? There it is. Okay. Yeah, originally he was just gonna be like an anime character that like the other puppets would interact with. Like if he appeared on screen, he'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Dot? How are you doing today? Have you eaten your bacon yet?" Apparently, he loves bacon, I guess.
Huh, interesting.
We learned something new today.
Yeah, see?
But then like after a bit of a while, I was considering also making him like also into a puppet. And then 2020 comes around. And and this is before, and just to set it up, this is before the pandemic really kicked in. So one of my New Year's resolutions, as I said, was to build puppets this year. And I was saving up a lot of that money. I'm jumping the gun here. Whoa. But it happens a lot. But so one of the so I started designing like a bunch of like different puppet designs and sketches and whatnot. And one thing that comes into my head is possibly making a puppet version of Dot. And so that comes around and I start to plan around for that. And obviously I want him to be one of the more like later puppet builds, because like I said, he's not your typical Muppet style puppet. He doesn't have somebody screen cap this. This is a moment you'll never see ever again. Just a hand mouth on Dot. This looks so wrong. Olivia, if you're watching this, Tech, whoever's watching this, clip this. Clip it right now. You're never gonna see this again. Yeah. So I was planning on doing that, and then I can't say the word because I know YouTube does not like this word. But the pandemic happens, and we had to like spend all of our monies that we were saving for not just like puppet building, but also for like other stuff we were going to do this year. Like I know we were going to do a Disney cruise this year, but we had to like put all of that towards buying more food and more resources because of the whole pandemic situation.
Absolutely. And
then before we jump to the real big gun of the whole situation, I do have to bring up this because this plays a key role into why Dot is here now, why he is publicly out there in the world. So I have these two best friends, and I know y'all are in the chat. I know you two are in the chat. You haven't typed out anything. Y'all ain't typing, but I know for a fact you guys are watching.
Shouting them out.
I know
calling
them.
them out.
I know them. I know how they are. But I have these two friends. They're amazing friendos. Adam Powell, amazing people. I love them with all my heart. So they're very sweet, very generous. But for a while, there were these because we would call, and we still do call at nighttime because that was when we were all good and whatnot. And sometimes I would do the Dot voice, so this. And Tech Real has his own character named Goober, which not to shameless plug on y'all, but y'all should go follow Tech Real on the YouTubes and the TikToks and the Instagrams. Just saying, let's help a friend know. But he has his own original character Goober who talks like I got used to right hand for this. He talks like this. So basically, when you have a character that doesn't really speak except for gargles, and a character who can actually talk and just kind of communicate back and forth, it created for an interesting bond right there. So there would be like nights when like it was just like either me and him or like all three of us, and we would just start commenting. Like he would do the little stuff, and then I would be as Dot like, what do you mean? Look, I can't believe that actually happened.
He's great. He's great.
This. That's what Tech Real said. I'm losing camera focus. There we go. That's what Tech Real said. But So
that's great.
So after a while, after doing it for some time, that gave me a lot of motivation to be like, hey, you know what? Let's introduce the character out there to the world. And around this time, it's April 2020. Yeah. And that's when the TikTok account is finally created, Mia's Puppet Corner. So
Which is doing very well. I was checking it out. I mean, you have a lot of subscribers. People seem to really, really enjoy Dot and like everything that's going on the channel.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I'm super happy with the way where it is right now. But I was still, you know, this is during like the early years, so I'm just kind of like trying to describe the word. I was still trying to figure out which characters to utilize, because the only other at the time, I'm just gonna put Dot right here for a really brief second so I can bring this character out, because at the time the only other characters I had were the monkey puppet named Fellow, which I've been using for a while, Pack Rat, Lionel, Schmolder, which I think at the time was only like a one-off at that time, and of course me, Pinkie. Hello there, Samuel and George. Oh, and hello everybody in the chat.
You're so friendly. How you doing, Pinkie?
I'm a she.
Oh, sorry. Oh, well.
Don't assume. Come on.
So sorry.
Don't assume. Come on. It's 2020.
Look at it. So tell us about Pinkie. Pinkie, tell us about yourself.
Yeah. So I'll go over her. Oh, actually, you should go over yourself real quick, Pinkie.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been basically with Mia since I wanted. Well, how long was it? I think July of 2018, I believe, because she did this other puppeteer workshop. And it was so much fun. And they gave a bunch of monsters, and I was one of them. And she named me Pinkie. And, you know, things kind of evolved from there. You know, I started out with a very low voice like this or something like that. And then it just got higher and higher. And then when TikTok came around, I just kind of did my own thing on there for a while. And then as she's going to explain a little when we get back to the topic at hand, you know, she brought in Dot. And now it's me, Dot, Lionel, Schmolder, and Pack Rat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, I was going to ask you about all of the other characters that you have in the roster, I guess. So you got Pink, you got Dot, you have Lionel.
Yeah, let me grab the others.
Yeah, let's check them out. Let's check them out.
Let me grab the others on. So right here. So obviously what you just saw was Pinkie.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, look at that.
Me.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. I don't get compliments like that a lot. But
Very soft-spoken.
Yes. Oh yes. I got short legs. I got a short body compared to all these guys. But it allows me to do stuff like this. I know Olivia enjoys this a lot.
Whoa! All right, look at that. Look at you. So Lionel, tell us a little bit about yourself, Lionel.
Oh well. What is there to learn about me? I am the king of the jungles. At least I think I am. And of course, you know, I make sure everyone here in the puppet troupe is okay and doing pretty well. And yeah, just saying that sometimes I do like to show off a little bit. But yeah. Oh boy. Okay, let me see. Where's Schmolder? Where's Schmolder at? Where is Schmolder? Okay, and then
like
this one is he's on the countertop. Sure. This is a frame. Oh, I was dead there for a second. Oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, you're gonna just stare at the pretty old camera, aren't you? Stare at the pretty old camera. But yes, I am Schmolder. I am a dragon, you see. And note to all you people out there, I am not this doofy fellow. Just because we're the same dragon doesn't mean we're the same person. But yes, my name is Schmolder, and I'm kind of the goofy one around here. And yeah, I know a lot of people. There's a lot of similar dragons who look like me, like that doofy fellow. And you know, it's just kind of fun just being here. Oh, and Lionel has a fear of pants, if you don't know. Don't tell people that. Oh, shoot, come on, we made a TikTok about this with Tech. Come on, people know at this point. Yeah. Oh, okay, and then where's Pack Rat? Let's see, where is Pack Rat? Wow, I look so short on camera. You see this? Look at that. Just an arm and a elbow. Oh boy. Okay. Where is the Pack Rat? And then last but not least, probably the oldest puppet I have out of the main 5 characters is the Pack Watch. Ooh, I got your banjo ready.
Pack Rat, how appropriate, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's on my little tag. You can't see. Can we? There we go. There we go. Pack Rat. There we go. Okay, yeah, I'm a little pack rat from Brooklyn. Okay, I just wanna, I wanna make it out there in the world. If that gong show fella, that little weird alien, whatever he is, if he can make it out into the world, so can I. So can I.
Yes, Pack Rat.
There you go.
Or Pack Wat, whatever, however you want
to. It could be either or.
Okay. All right. Just
okay,
making sure.
Okay, now let me. Where I'm gonna have the dot to go. I normally don't call for him, but where's that dot? But yeah, so
that's amazing, Mia. So you've come up with all of these characters, and are they called what do they call them? The Puppet Troupe?
I call them a whole heap of things, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, what makes as you notice, like all these puppets, except for Dot, you can buy. I hate to ruin the magic, if you will, but all of them are technically not store bought, but you can buy them in other places. Pack Rats from Folk Manus, Lionel's from Jay at Play, I believe. Schmolder is from Melissa and Doug, and even Pinkie is from the Brooklyn Puppet Conspiracy. Little Etsy little shop, which, by the way, they make fantastic practice puppets, great prices. Nice. Definitely would recommend those if you're getting into puppetry. But yeah, so what makes Dot different is that he's the only one out of the troupe thus far who's an original creation. Yeah, so going all the way back to that.
Take a little detour. We're back. So
right? So yeah, while still figuring out what characters I wanted to mainly use, I was like, you know what? Since I already have this TikTok page up, why not also just make Dot into this puppet realm to the best that I can and just like do stuff with him like that. Again, unfortunately, I don't have either of the paper puppet versions of him, but basically it's similar to how I perform him now. The only difference is just literally imagine the rod is a ruler and that these 2 arm rods are just wooden sticks with pipe cleaners. It sounds weird, but believe me, it is very easy and very it was very easy to adjust to and whatnot. It was even great to perform to. In fact, if you go, there's still I still have the videos up. I have all my videos up on the TikTok page still of the original Dot puppet, and you can see that like even though he's just literally a piece of paper attached to a ruler, I was still able to get so much out of him.
Right.
The only downside that came from it was that it's paper. And paper crumbles and breaks, or rips, rather, I should say. Right. So, the first one that got real ripply when I was trying to take that version of Dot and Pinkie to like a local little family thing earlier this year, because it was like a birthday situation. I wanted to be like, hey, you know what? And so why not? And just instead of just Pinkie, let's bring Dot as well. Right. Turned out to be not the best idea because that puppet version of him crumbled. So yeah, that version lasts. I still have it. It's still here somewhere. So that version lasts from sometime in April 2020 until I want to say June 30th, 2020 of this year, because I had to quickly use him to promote one of my other friends' work. And like you could tell, if someone could find that video, please do. You can see that like he's like so wrinkly. I'm having like a difficult time trying to manipulate him, and it still came out fine. Yeah. But like you get the idea.
No, I got you.
I did make a second puppet version, and that works for a while. Yeah. And I remember specifically the day I showed it to my 2 best friends again, which I mentioned, Artek and Adam. When I'm getting the puppet out, his arm almost rips. It almost rips. So I'm just sitting there like, oh, that's cool. I just made this puppet literally yesterday. And now it just wants to decide it wants to go bye-bye. It wants to go bye-bye. Yeah, and then, so from then on, I was just like, okay, you know what, at this point, like, it's going to be tiresome to recreate these puppets over and over again. Right. Yeah. I need to hire someone to make Dot into an actual puppet and not just a super thin version, which was something I was avoiding this year overall, because like I didn't want to just trying to figure the word. I didn't want to I guess chicken out, quote unquote, and just like ask someone or commission someone to build a puppet for me.
Right.
Which it's not, by the way, it's not a bad thing, but especially if you're not into building puppets or you're not great at it, that's a great thing to do. It's just because I want to do it so bad. I just felt a little worrisome that like, oh man, I gotta actually commission someone and pay someone to do this. Yeah. But it was all super worth it.
I think it's the equivalent of like, say, an artist not drawing his own comic and having another artist draw the comic for him. You know what I mean? I think that's sort of like what you're doing here. Is like you wanted to do it yourself, but you said, "What? You know what? Let me commission somebody else to do it." And they did a great job. I mean, he looks great.
They did. He did. Yeah. So the person, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The person that I actually commissioned to build the current Dot that you see right now is a little good puppeteer friend of mine, Chris Palomiri, who has done some work with NBC, Sprout. There's this dinosaur park that I know he performs at in New Jersey. He does a lot of work. You can check him out more on like stuff like TikTok and Instagram. He has his own website, Puppets by Palomiri, I believe it's called. Okay. But if you look on his pages, you'll see that like he makes some of the most beautiful puppets I've ever seen, in my personal opinion. Nice. Like for someone, especially for like a non-Henson like company or like person or like I guess like involved person, I guess would be the word. He makes really fantastic puppets. And there's this one TikTok he did where he was showcasing a bunch of these puppets that he had made. It was like a whole thing where like, oh, you can't make a puppet out of that. And then he showed the audio was like, I know. And then he was showcasing all these puppets that were made out of simple everyday objects, like a plastic spoon, an umbrella, a watering can. I was just saying here, like,
that's amazing.
What on earth, dude?
That's amazing.
And then like once I became a little bit more closer to him via the Instagram DMs, I reached out to him, and once I gained the money, of course, I was like, hey man, so you say you do puppet commissions, right? He told me yes. I was like, great. Can you do me a favor and I'll pay you $500 or so. It wasn't really 500, but you know, somewhere around there, somewhere around 500 or under. Yeah. Can you like build me an actual Dot puppet, please? And we went for it was a great process, by the way. We went for the whole thing together.
Sure. Did you send them like drawings of like what you wanted and stuff? Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing I would recommend too if you're commissioning someone to build a puppet. Even if it's a replica for something like a cosplay, it's a good idea to send them sketches and pictures of what your character looks like so they have a better reference. So with that, you know, we went over the whole process with him. I was like, you know, I want the sphere to be as big as like, you know, not too big, but like big enough to where it's like realistic size. Yeah. And you know, then he showed me the fleece that he got. It's not Antron fleece. It's a different type of fleece. I think poly fleece. I'm not very sure. Okay. But and then like, you know, how he made it was with like a rigid styrofoam little sphere, little thingamajig, and then the rods. And then we just went for the whole process together. And then once it was done, he checked up on me to like see if everything was perfect. And I told him, because he sent me a video of just like, it was literally just Dot looking around and just doing all kinds of sort of things.
How excited were you when you saw that video, Mia? Like when you first saw your creation come to life, how excited were you?
It was amazing. I cried when he showed me the finished puppet and the video footage. I cried. I literally cried. I remember even when I got on call with my best friends, I cried to death. I was like, oh my God, this is a real thing that's happening. I'm freaking out. And of course, like, you know, like, of course I had to celebrate the occasion with actual TikTok on there. So basically what I did was, it was like this whole little, it's one of my favorite TikToks I've ever done too. It was a two-part TikTok where the first part, the paper Dot puppet, it's like he's feeling something bad in his body. It's never specified where, of course, because who cares? And Pinkie's like, oh, you should go see Dr. Chris. You know, Dr. Chris helps me out with everything. Maybe he can help out with you. And then the second part, we cut back to later on the day where we see the new Dot puppet come out of the little doorways or wherever it was. Wow. And like Pinkie's just saying there, I remember she was just saying there like, oh, Dot, you look different, I think, or something like that. And the rest is just kind of history. And ever since then, Dot has really kind of stepped up to the crew in terms of like TikToks. I think he is like I think he, Lionel, and Pinkie might honestly be the puppets I use the most on TikTok. And of course, like, you know, the other two is because I'm comfortable performing them. But with Dot, it is just simply because he is my baby. He is quite literally
That's right.
a little
That's
baby
right.
boy.
So,
And,
man, let me ask you a little bit about your skills as a puppeteer. Like, did you like go to school, or did you have any training for how to move them? Like, is there like,
well, it's
a little bit about that?
I gotta put you away, Dot. I'll be back. So, put that around. Okay. Actually, in order to do so, let's bring Pinkie back on, since she's pretty much the simplest of the puppetry mechanics I have on right here. So basically, in terms of like what did I attend or where did I go to learn more about puppetry?
Right.
A lot of it was kind of self-teaching on my own. But there was this workshop I took in 2018 from the people actually over at Sesame Workshop, which you guys know, the nonprofit organization behind Sesame Street and so much more. And they host a puppet like a little puppeteer workshop. Before COVID happened, every year, but very rarely would they announce it publicly. Because I don't know exactly why the reason is, but I'm sure it's probably like a house reason or something. And one time in late 2017, it was the Matt Vogel and Stephanie D'Abrizio and the other Sesame Street puppeteers were doing a live stream on Facebook. And I checked in because I was a big fan of their live streams at the time. And out of nowhere, Matt Vogel was like, "Oh, we have a big surprise at the end of this live stream, so we might want to stick around." And once we get to the end of the live stream, he announces out of nowhere, "We're hosting a puppeteer workshop. Yes, go to the website, go to the link, and figure out the rest." It was.
And you were like, "That's it. I'm in. I'm going."
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. And basically, so at the time I was like super nervous because like I was like, "Oh my God, am I really going to get in? Is it worth taking the shot?" And at the deadline was December 31st, 2017, 11:59 p.m. So New Year's Eve. So I filmed the video beforehand with Pakra and Philo the monkey. And I was like, "Oh, should I really do this? Is it worth the chance?" And like my mom was like, "Yes, do it. It's all worth it. Who knows what could happen?" I was like, "Okay." And then I submitted it to their email address that they provided in the link. And after 2 months, it took like 2 months to get back from them. And I was like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I didn't get in, but you know what? That's okay. We at least tried."
Right.
And then this one day, sometime I want to say like early February, late January-ish, I get an email back for them saying I made it in.
Wow.
Out of, I think it was like 100, it was like 120, 130 people who auditioned to participate in the workshop, which that's something I do want to bring up too, by the way.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Sesame Puppeteer workshops and any of the Muppet Puppeteer workshops are not like actual auditions to get onto the shows like Sesame Street or the Muppet Show and that sort of stuff. It's literally what they describe it as a puppeteer workshop too. Wow, my arm just kind of flew in there. But they're just like literally what they are, to learn you, to teach you how to puppeteer on a monitor. And
Gotcha.
And speaking of which, I want to get onto that because that's actually something very important. I'm speaking with your voice now, apparently. So one thing that a lot of people misconstrue about puppetry is that, it's so easy. All I gotta do is just put on the puppet and they're like, "Hi, kids, my name is Timmy." Okay, bye. And then just call it a day. Yeah. It's not. First of all, 101, Puppetry 101, the lip sync needs to be like this. You have to drop the dumb at every syllable. Wow. Like, for example, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when we get to numeral 7, it's 2 syllables. So 7, so you want to move more. And the other thing too is that you don't want to move the puppet like this. You don't want to move it like this because it's just because we don't talk like that. No, you know, I know at every puppeteer workshop he's been, he always says, "We don't talk like this," like that.
Which is what it would look like if you did it that way.
Exactly.
Like, that's exactly what the puppet would do, right?
Yeah. So the trick is to move more of this and less of this. You still want the upper half moving a little bit, because then if you just make it look like this, it looks very stiff. Weird. So you want exactly
strange.
So you need to have more of this, but also a little bit of this, a good balance between them.
Gotcha.
And then comes the real tricky part, which is I'm Pinkie back on here. Eye focus. And you see my handler Mia over here is actually looking at the screen right now. I'm looking directly at all of you beautiful people out there. And that's because what you guys see at home is what the puppeteers see on the monitors or the TV screens as well when they're performing. It's not a mirrored image. It's what you see. It's exactly as you see it. Like, show your shirt. Show your shirt right here. That says straight out of quarantine. I thought that said. I thought this was a Cookie Monster shirt for a second. I guess not. But and of course you need to learn your lesson. It's a good thing she's on a little wheelie chair, because oh my god, this is actually pretty perfect right now. So you also gotta learn like how to enter into frame like that, and then how to exit frame like so. Like that. And of course,
That's
you know,
great.
You know, there was this I wasn't at this workshop, but I know there was this trick that Mia learned from Mari P. Robinson that goes like this. That goes like right, left, oh, wrong, right, wrong, left. Oh gosh. But yeah, it goes like this. Okay. I'm sorry, I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed so easily. It goes.
So Nick
right,
asks, do you
left,
get cramps on your
right,
thumb?
Left, center.
Yeah, right. Basically, right. Your
Down,
thumbs just get cramped.
forward, bounce. Do I get what? I'm sorry.
Cramps on your thumb.
Okay, I'm so many. Sometimes it really depends on how I'm performing the puppet and whatnot. I know there's this other trick Mari P. Robinson told us, which for those of you who don't know, he's Snuffy and Telly Monster on Sesame Street, a bunch of other characters. So yeah. Okay, sorry, trying to like refocus its camera here. Okay, well, I tried to remember. Oh yeah. It was this little trick right here where you basically what you're doing is moving your fingertips ever so slightly, because when you do that with the puppet, this looks weird. This looks very weird. When you do that with the puppet, it basically looks like this. Oh, there you go. Like, it's very subtle, but it's very effective. Yeah. And that does kind of sometimes, depending on the puppet, it does cramp my fingers sometimes, or my thumb.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Mia. Mia, what is some of your plans for like your puppet corner? Like what do you have envisioned for, like, I know it's the end of 2020, like maybe into next year. What are you envisioning for your your TikTok page and even your Instagram page? What are some of your future plans?
Well, I know with Instagram, I'm starting to do a lot more live streams. In fact, some of the ones that are going to be happening, I think all of the ones that are happening this month are going to be obviously Christmas themed. So, and for those who don't know, on Instagram, that's where originally, you know, back when the TikTok ban was a whole little scare. Mm-hmm. I set that up as like a backup little thing. Okay. And but then like after it was kind of revealed that that TikTok was not going away and it was going to be perfectly fine, I just kind of stopped using the Instagram account except for doing the live streams. And the reason why I like doing live streams on Instagram more than on TikTok is because we get to bring on more people. You know, we get to bring on guest stars, some of our friends, including some out there watching in the chat. And you know, it's more fun that way because it creates more of a dynamic and some comedy and some fun. And yeah. So some of them are going to be Christmas based this month, of course. And then overall, I'm going to try and do more live streams, or I plan on doing, I should say, more live streams on Instagram with other peoples that I know of. And nice. Yeah. And then as for the TikTok page itself, hopefully in introduce more characters, like more original characters like Dot real soon, because I have a couple of characters I would love. I'm working on trying again if the pandemic never happened, I really would have. But yeah, introduce more original characters hopefully in the near future.
Love it.
To join me, that I can't be the only original boy around.
Well, listen, when you start getting those ready, I definitely want to have you back on the show to talk about that whole process, because I definitely want to check that out and know more about that, because I think this is very interesting, and I love the fact that you introduced us to Dot and gave us his whole backstory. What are some of the social like your social networks where they can reach you? Do you have you have them off the
yeah, okay, of course, if you want to follow me, if you want to see more of Dot and Pinkie and the rest of the gang, you can follow my page on TikTok and Instagram, both for Mia's Puppet Corner at Mia Puppet Corner. And if you want to buy, especially, since the holidays are only around, if you want to support me and want to buy, some shirts featuring Dot or mugs or stickers even, then you can head on over at spreadshop.com/Mia's Puppet Corner, I believe it is called. And
okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely we're gonna have a lot of those links on the video there at the bottom, so people can check it out and pick up some of those shirts. I think I'm gonna have to pick one up. Look at those eyes. Look at those mesmerizing eyes of Dot.
I'll see you. I can sense your thoughts. I can sense your thoughts right now. I can tell Samuel's thinking some deep thoughts right now.
Yeah.
Oh, any last words to everyone who follows you already? Anything you want to tell them? Anything you want to say?
I mean, honestly, well, for me personally, because I have a feeling Dot wants to probably say some things after me, but I mean, honestly, thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel through these super difficult times. Like the TikTok page itself was created out of pure boredom, because of the quarantine, and I did not realize just how big this was going to blow up for me, honestly. Like even like if I'm at like 1,900 or so followers, like that's still a lot in my opinion. So I'm super happy that's all growing. And of course, a big shout out to all my friendos out there. Like I think some of you again are in the chat: Marcelo, Olivia, Matt, Adam, Tech. I love you guys with all my heart and soul. And yeah, how about you, Dot? Any last words for you, Dot? Well, I want to thank everyone. I'm so close to the camera. You gotta move back a bit so I can be in the center. I'll be the center. Yeah, I love all of you in there. Oh boy! Oh, that's what I was going to say. You know, Mr. Samuel and George.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I'd like to do to everyone I meet?
What's that?
What?
I like to get them big warm hugs.
There you go. There's a hug. There you go.
Yeah, Dot.
This is true.
Got him. I got them all. Put it in my pocket.
Oh, man. You have been amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you, Dot. You're amazing. Please come back. You'll come back?
Possibly.
All right, perfect.
We'll see. Have a good rest of the night. I don't know where I'm sitting anymore.
Thank you so much. Bye, Dot.
Thank you.
Oh man, that was fun.
Yes, that was
fun. She was great.
That was a really great. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much. But if you're watching this and you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button. Let us know that you do. We will have the link up for Mia. And Mia, if you're still watching, write the link in the chat to where everyone can catch you and get more from your amazing worlds and characters. There's a lot of questions we could have asked. Like I would have loved to know if she wrote her scripts. How she plans out her scenes and all that stuff, whatever, but we'll definitely invite her back. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, that was awesome, dude. Like, it's a whole, there are so many worlds within this universe of creating, right? And like, she just gave us a glimpse into another world of the creatives,
Yes.
Right? puppetry. Like you never even think about. I mean, and again, you know, we touched on it when we were talking to her, Jim Henson, and like the influence, you know, like the stuff that you loved growing up, you know, the
big Jim Henson fan,
the Dark Crystal, right? Like all that stuff.
Yes.
And it's like she's almost like coming from that world,
yes.
You know. So it was awesome to talk to her, and thank you so much for being on the show. I know that Dot, I mean, listen, stole the show, you know, and she's got it. I can't wait to see the other characters that she has in mind and ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I was interested in the show because of the fact that I've been a big fan of the Muppets. I grew up on Fraggle Rock, and I'm a big anything Jim Henson did, I loved. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. I didn't realize my cheeks were going to hurt. I was like, yeah. So if my cheeks hurt from smiling, I can imagine what her fingers feel like after she's done it for a long time.
Dude, it's funny because you feel like a little kid looking at this puppet just with the voice
Oh,
and the way
watching
it moves.
you
Like
giggle.
Dude, I loved it. I freaking loved it. Like every time she said something, I was like, hee. I was like a little kid, dude. Like great. And the fact that she, you know, she went, you know, she trained for this stuff. It's not over. She learned some of it on her own, but she went out there, took a shot. Big shout out to her mom who said, hey, do it. You never know, just do it. And, you know, I wish more parents were as, you know, just supportive of some of their kids' endeavors and some of their dreams, and not saying, hey, no, go get a real job, you know, go be a doctor, be a lawyer. Stop, you know, put that down. That's crazy. This is what we need. We need more parents who say, hey, you know what? You love it. You're passionate. Go for it. Do it. Encourage them.
Yeah,
you know?
I think
and
the parents,
big shout out to her for doing
the
that.
parents that stifle their children's growth are the ones who are unfulfilled and are trying to impose their own dreams onto a child. And I think it's important that you influence your kids to just go out there and play and figure out where their journey is going to lead them, and let them plant their own seeds and grow their own trees. You know, I think sometimes, you know, we get, you know, that I know what's best for you. It's not it's not the case. You know, and I remember leaving an organization because that was the conversation. I had in mind what I wanted to do, and they said, no, we know what's best for you. I said, okay, well, figure that out without me because I'm out. Right? You know, you can't stop that creative process. You know, but for those of you out there, you know, thank you for watching this episode of Catch the Craze. If you want to be a guest on Catch the Craze, all you have to do is hit us up, subscribe to this channel, hit us up, connect with us, DM us on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. Just type in Catch the Craze. We're on Twitter. You see the icons below. If you have a recommendation on a guest you'd like to have to see on this show, let us know. We'll make it happen. And, you know, again, if you like this episode as much as we did, hit that like button, show some love. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that was in there. So we had Ivana Rivera, we had Marcelo Botaro, we had the Bingo Productions, Nick Salty, Olivia Can't Freaking Breathe. We had, let's see, did I miss anybody? We have Frank Vasquez. Frank said, what's up? Thanks for watching, guys. Let's see, who else did we have? Did I miss anybody? Let's see, Olivia. We had Cranky Crab. We had, these names are amazing. Let's see.
These names are amazing.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for being in the chat room and supporting me. That's pretty dope.
Absolutely. Oh, big announcement, or just a follow up on the Catch the Craze front. We have the books coming in within the next few days. The t-shirts will be in next week, and then we'll start sending everything out. So you guys look like you guys will be having some gifts for Christmas this year. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
And next year, January 14th, we will have the second Kickstarter launching. So check that out, and the launch page should be up soon. So get ready for that. And thank you. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching.
Yes.
And
for those of you, who
subscribing, all that.
If you're not aware what George is referring to, we did have a Kickstarter for our comic book series called Cast the Crazies, which is based on the lives of the Dreamer and Sam, and some Supernatural and some Crazy Critters. And we had a Kickstarter, was successful, and we expected to get the backers and those who pledged that made it a success their rewards in February, but we're ahead of schedule, and everyone should be getting it just in time for Christmas, which is pretty dope. And I'm pretty excited about that. So issue 2 Kickstarter launches in January 14th. And next week, I don't even know who the guest on next week is. We'll figure that out. We'll
have a guest. There will be a guest.
Yes.
We just got to figure it out.
Yes. So again, I appreciate every single one of you for watching. You know, I wish everybody a really peaceful, prosperous, and healthy holiday season. Make sure you spend time with the family. Watch the Muppets Christmas special. Watch Charlie Brown's Christmas special. Check out Mia on TikTok. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George, the Dreamer, Medina. Peace.
And we out.
It's just it's not.
Crazy.
Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him.
Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, Lord.
He described me. He said, I'm the...
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.